show, Five Stripe Fam. I'm AJ, and this is Michael.
And wherever it is you get your pods, subscribe, share, and leave us a good rating.
Welcome to another episode of Five Stripe Weekly, and Atlanta United beat DC United 3-1 at the Benz on Saturday. And yes, we finally get off of that train that is the Thai train, which has been very, very annoying. But yeah, home and away, we have not been getting the results that we've needed, but we finally were able to, in spite of probably the performance, which I think maybe wasn't spectacular, but I think we were more clinical than DC United. But yeah, I mean, definitely when you get goals from Yorgos Yakimakis, Andrew Gutman, Tyler Wolff off the bench, I mean, yeah, it's plenty enough, and we were finally able to keep the other team off of the scoreboard for as many goals as we did. So, but yeah, do you have any a quick thought about this match and how you felt about it?
Of course, just like we talked about in our kind of debrief episode after the game, we kept Christian Benteke off the score sheet, and that really was critical. He was going into this guy was scoring bikes. He's a scary dude. He has a history of scoring bangers, and luckily it didn't happen this game. He was just a little bit off. A lot of the attack on DC was a little bit off, and we profited from that. It could have gone a different way. I think it would have been kind of another slug, heavy hitting, what's the word? Haymakers, like coming from all the way down in Mississippi. Boom! That would have been another heavy hitter slugfest again, like 3-3, 4-3 type of game if DC showed up with their clinical finishes. But luckily for us, they didn't. So that's where the scoreline ended, and I'm happy with it.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, it was something that's going in, that lineup probably gave some pause for a lot of fans. I mean, Johnny Fortune getting in there ahead of Josetu, who had complained about some fatigue, and so he was not part of the whole squad altogether. And yeah, I mean, you have that. You have Luis Aruju on the bench and didn't play a part. But you have Derek Etienne and Caleb Wiley as the wingers. And I think we looked a lot more energetic on the wings, especially with Caleb Wiley. And it definitely allowed for I think some sort of aspect that that ball in behind, where either on the left wing, mostly more on the right wing, where Yorgos Yakimakis was able to terrorize, and Tyler Miller, he the DC United keeper, for the first goal, probably very ill-advised, but it worked out to our benefits.
And it created one of the most iconic moments for us,
yes,
especially with Yorgos Yakimakis finally getting his swag in this game
for
the
sure.
Atlanta United faithful.
Very Jose Martinez-esque, and he was able to beat Tyler Miller to the ball and pretty much round him, and then slot it into the near post, and it was cold. The finish was cold. The celebration was cold. 10 goals, the fastest player in club history to reach that number in 766 minutes. The previous record was 821 by Jose Martinez, so he's living up to that number. He's living up to the striker position as well. It's good stuff, especially when he has played really like half of the minutes in MLS for us. So imagine what he would be doing without having missed so much time. But 1-0 lead.
Add one more point about that is that I think it was Tyler Pilgrim who broke the story on this one, but in an interview he was giving after that game against DC when he scored that goal, he said that he knew that ball was going where it was going, and he knew the keeper was going to come out, and he knew that shot was going to go in, because he said he did his research and he knew Miller does this, and he knew he could exploit it. So this was this was calculated. It didn't seem like it. It seemed like it was just spur of the moment.
Yeah.
But that just lends to how intelligent of a player Yorgos turns out to be. I mean, he has to really be, if you think about how much success he's had in Europe. So it makes sense. But I was just kind of stunned to see that. I just thought, you know, like some of the other goals he scored, oh, he just like kind of got it and
it's instinctual or something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Just like responded instinctually. But no, I mean, it begs the question of how much thought really goes into these things, and it seems like it's quite a bit. So, like I said to Tyler, this is a full package. Like, he is the whole thing, and I mean, intelligence, scoring nose for gold, like, and being able to physically handle his position. I mean, he's the whole thing. So I'm really happy to have him.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a love fest with Michael and Yorgos Yakimakis, that's for sure. And I mean, with good reason. I mean, exactly, with the kit in the background as well. It is definitely he's clinical. It seems like he's scoring at least every game or every other game, which, I mean, it seems like it's actually more than that. But yeah, and in terms of that 1-0 lead, DC, unfortunately they were able to equalize in the 27th minute, and it was a bad giveaway, and they were able to pretty much get in behind, and Taxi Fountas, he slipped his ball into the bottom left corner past Brad Guzan. Not our shining moment in possession, but we were able to, in the second half anyway, do a little bit more of what we needed to do. But that second half, Thiago Almada, he was able to draw multiple defenders, where he played a 1-2 pass with Gutman with just a beautiful ball in behind, and the defender's left-footed shot, cross, Schross. It was deflected off of the heel, off of Miller into the back of the net. I think it was on goal.
I don't know what it was, but I'll call it a goal.
Exactly, it was on goal, so they counted it. But we got the lead in the 49th minute, so all is well as it ends in the back of the net. But Gutman definitely celebrates rightfully. I think he was terrorizing that left side all night. He and Caleb Wiley, and I think it was deserved. I mean, he was definitely just a player that he finds that moment that we need in most matches, and he got the go-ahead goal in this one. And that's what Andrew Gutman does for Atlanta United on a consistent basis. If you look at those 3 goals that he has, I mean, you have to at least see if it's a tying goal, if it's a go-ahead goal. He does it. He does it for Atlanta United. And I mean, it's in terms of the last goal for Atlanta United, Gutman and Yakimakis were both involved. And it was Yakimakis who played a through ball to Gutman, making a run down the left side, and he crossed the ball. And Tyler Wolff, who came on for Derek Etienne, he was running into the box and almost patented now at this point. It's it's a tap in. He runs onto it where he does exactly what you need. He gets in the box in dangerous positions and finishes the ball. And
we may not always have a fox in the box, but you can damn well be sure we'll always have a wolf in the box.
Oh, I like it. And yes, the goal unfortunately was originally called offside, but I mean, in the stadium when I saw it, I was like, "There's no way." But there was a lot of time taken, and we found out that yes, VAR, they overturned it, and I mean, it's a good goal. I mean, it's well worked. It's a team goal. We need more of these. Obviously, not every one of them will be from a set piece or from downtown like Thiago Almada does for us, but this was definitely a much needed type of goal that I think will give the team some confidence in that we can build up and we can score them from open play versus just consistently scoring them from set pieces. But yeah, and in terms of another really beautiful moment, Ozzy Alonso, he finally got back into the squad and got a season debut for him as well, and it's his first appearance in 14 months since recovering from the ACL injury that he suffered in April of 2022. So definitely great to see. It was definitely emotional for him, and yeah, the first moment and minute that he was on, he took a left-footed shot. Maybe not the best shot, but yeah, there was a parry that could have almost led to something. So it was.
He's letting everyone know.
Yeah, exactly. He was hungry. He wanted to make his moment known and make it a special one, but unfortunately, he did not get that. But it, yeah, I mean, I think, you know, if he's aggressive in the future, he's really going to solidify, I think, that that defensive midfielder, at least competition for the position. We have, yeah, I think 3 very serviceable guys in Alonso, Sosa, and Ibarra. But yeah, definitely a great moment, you know, in that game. But yeah, you know, we definitely, I think in this match, maybe it's not quite flatter to deceive. Like, I think we did do well enough to earn the 3 points, but it still is, yeah, you know, DC, they had some of the moments that if they were more clinical, it could have been a different story. But I think when that second goal hit, when that third goal hit, it just kind of took them out of the game. And Wayne Rooney, I mean, you know, they're doing pretty well in the East, 7th coming into the game. But I mean, I think we did enough to kind of just make a question, like, what were they trying to do in this match?
Yeah, and the goal didn't even really come as a product of their system. It was on just a silly mistake that landed in a wrong place for us. I mean, it couldn't have been gifted more perfectly for them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and it's not as like they can plan for that and execute that over and over again. So, you know, what were they trying to do? I mean, you know, give the ball to Christian and hope he pulls a miracle out. Reminds me a little bit of like 2019 and 20 Joseph Martinez. Like a lot of times Christian's on an island, and so is Joseph. So that can be a tricky time for a team.
Right, and Miles Robinson definitely had Benteke in his pocket for sure. There were some moments where he definitely just shepherded him out wide, and Benteke, he was getting bodied a bit. Like, yeah, Miles Robinson.
Not used to that, I bet.
Right, exactly. Miles Robinson is a specimen, a unit, and he definitely, was able to defensively control Benteke a good bit. Guzan, not troubled too much, but he did make 4 saves, and the back line, they made 21 total clearances to hold DC to only 1 goal. So, yeah, you know, it does check out to, there were some dodgy moments, but we were able to handle it for the most part.
There was one where Robinson made a slide tackle to block a shot, which was extremely necessary.
Exactly. Very last ditch. And when you look at the numbers, pretty much DC United had 13 shots to our 10, 5 shots on target to our 4. I mean, yeah, it's they won 51 duels to our 36. They did give us, you know, some questions, but we were able to answer most of those and keep them at bay. So yeah, it was good enough. Would have liked to keep the clean sheet, but do you have a final thought on this match?
I don't think there was anything that DC did truthfully to expose us in any kind of way that we really need to work on something or fix something. All of the same issues that we've had in the past are still around, and DC just weren't able to exploit those things, like our weak midfield. So they're probably beating themselves up about it. They thought they could have scored a couple more. Maybe they could have if it was a different night, but Christian didn't show up. His accompaniment didn't show up. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I said, it's not really an indictment on us this game. We put them to the sword like we needed to at home against a mid-table kind of ish team, and that's what you got to do in this league to keep going. So we did our job and they didn't. So you know.
So the one blemish on this match has got to be Yorgos Akamakis getting that yellow, which unfortunately rules him out of the next match against NYCFC on Wednesday, June 21st. And yeah, you know, you definitely question Gonzalo Pineda's coaching there, his management of the squad a little bit. I mean, because he immediately got taken off right after that, and it's just like, man, like,
Yeah.
if we had just you know, planned that a little bit, but it is also that accumulation would have still happened anyway if he got it, you know, against NYCFC, and NYCFC in the dredges a little bit might have actually been a blessing in disguise. We shall find out, but you know,
It was bound to happen eventually. So,
Exactly.
I mean, the guy is, I don't know. I don't know why he's such a bulldog even when he's the striker, which is, you know, it's nice in some ways. It's exciting and interesting in some ways.
Yeah.
I like that he doesn't get bullied off the ball. I like that he has presence and he's demanding the league respect him. And it's getting a lot of, I don't know, maybe some Pineda's talked about how, like, well, Eleni United needs to gain respect in the league in order for less calls to be going against us. Yorgos maybe is in the same vein. Like, refs have to kind of learn how he plays a little bit more so they can understand that maybe not if he like touches another player he gets a yellow every time. So but you know, I don't know, I feel like at a certain point you gotta let, because like Joseph was a very physical number 9 for us, so I mean he didn't get that a tremendous amount of yellows. I think maybe if Yorgos starts lighting the league on fire like he did, maybe he'll get less yellows. I don't think you should stop like trying to get yellows though, or stop trying to play the way he likes to play, because I like it, and it just the league just needs to adjust.
Yeah, maybe we'll get more of a pass in the future. We'll find out. But he is on Franco Escobar and Leandro Gonzalez Perez territory of how many yellows he gets. But yeah, anyway, that's the one blemish, and besides the goal, obviously. But yeah, so that wraps it up pretty much for the match review. And that gets us into the news. And the news, we start off with, so 6 Atlanta United players have been called up to join their countries for the June FIFA window. Of course, Thiago Almada, Yorgos Yakimakis, Miles Robinson, as well as Derek Etienne, Luis Abram, as well as Ajani Fortune, which, yeah, no, that's quite a bit of fortune for them, as, yeah, you know, there is a team that unfortunately has been bowed out of the Gold Cup, and Trinidad and Tobago, they are now in, and so he will be part of that senior national team at TNT. So yeah, congrats to the homegrown. We have quite a number of players that are away, 6 of them. It's annoying, but yeah, hopefully they will all come back healthy. And
I think you're also missing one call up too.
Oh, which one?
I think we have a call up of our own. Maybe you want to talk about.
Oh, yes, we do. Well, I think I know what you're talking about, but yeah, go ahead.
So we wanted to congratulate our good buddy Nile for coming on and helping us out with some research and other kind of projects that we're working on to help create content for you good people out there. So we just wanted to say thanks, and we're looking forward to working with you, buddy.
Indeed. Now Faruqi definitely has been called up to the first team with us. And yeah, you might have seen him on some of the content in terms of the live streams. But yes, he will be helping us along with some of the social media, as well as some other things coming up soon. So exciting things coming ahead. And yes, definitely a long time audience member, and we thank him so much for the support along the years. And now he is part of the team. It will be exciting to see.
Living the dream.
Not to say that we are at any level part of anybody's dream, but you know, it's amazing to have had you guys kind of follow us along for this many years. So, next bit of news: Andrew Gutman's goal and assist. He earns a spot on the MLS team of the match day, and that is well deserved. Yorgos Yakumakis also made that match day or team of the match day as well. So
he's going to be a regular on there, just like Almada.
Indeed, well deserved for sure. Next bit of news is that Luis Aruju, he already changed his Instagram profile and bio to Flamengo. So yeah, it is definitely interesting that he's already done that. Yeah. A lot of people don't really care, but you know, obviously him not playing the last match, I think it's probably preserving a little bit of not only the transfer, but also that, yeah, we need to have and learn maybe life without Aruju on the right wing or left wing. And yeah, you know, it is odd to a degree that he is slated to leave June 24th. And obviously, you know, he had not played and also had done this pretty much 10 days before. Obviously, I would imagine he is not going to play on the 14th, or I mean the 21st. So today is the 14th. But yeah, so it does lead me to believe that yeah, that last game was his last game. But we'll find out. Maybe we might need him in a, you know, kind of in a pinch. We'll find out. But either way, you know, that is the case.
We seem to be doing just fine without him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we definitely got the 3 points without him. We'll take it, and absolutely every single time.
Imagine playing without inverted wingers. Amazing.
I know, right? Yeah, which is usually kind of odd. Usually, I mean, that's the more modern part of the game right now. But I mean, when you have a striker like Yorgos Yakumakis, feed the man, and yeah, we absolutely should. But next bit of news is that yeah, another former or will be former, so player in Jurgen Damm, he has caught on with another team. It's definitely weird to see that he's just, yeah, he's constantly able to fall and fail forward. It's odd, but
yeah, he fails upward, yeah, for sure.
Exactly, but yeah, he previously, of course, was playing for Club America. Now he's caught on with Atlético de San Luis. So yeah, he got a very interesting mascot reveal. Yeah,
that guy interviews well.
He interviews well, man. Some people, you know, it doesn't even matter. Like, you just you have to know how to woo your bosses, I suppose. And at that point, good on him. You know,
yeah, good for him.
He gets
get your bag.
Exactly. He gets his bag. He stays employed somehow for doing the minimum, or you know, he's that player that, or you know, not a player, but he's that person in the group project that just doesn't do anything but gets the A anyway. Like,
yeah.
It's there's always that guy, and he is that guy. But yeah, also in support of LGBTQ plus month, yeah, All Stripes also got some love on the MLS Twitter account, as well as the TIFO for the last match. So yes, Michael is showing the I guess LGBTQ plus friendly armband there, but on the stream anyway, or on the episode. We're not streaming actually, but yes, so great to see that there was that love for the LGBTQ plus community. And yeah, in terms of you know, the Gold Cup as well, that's going to be played for a long while actually. Hopefully Miles Robinson will stay healthy. But Yeah, we talked about Messi last episode, so we will not go into it too hard, but it still is not finalized.
You could go anywhere to hear about Messi.
Exactly.
Like, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's going to be harder to like not hear about him somewhere else. So.
Yes, indeed.
Maybe this is a
Your safe space.
like
yeah.
exactly, like this is a nice little insulation from all the Messi stuff at the very moment. So
Right, exactly. Oh, we did miss somebody on international duty, Machopchol, with South Sudan.
South Sudan? Yeah,
Yes.
nice.
So, yes, there is
I think
that.
he definitely got, like, I feel like his confidence and everything got better when he came back last time.
Yeah,
So,
indeed.
happy he's going again.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, it's definitely, anytime you can play for your national team, I mean, yeah, they're definitely almost always going to do it. Yeah, and so, as well, there were some transfer rumors from this past week. Miles Robinson, apparently there was interest from Bundesliga and Premier League clubs, per Tom Bogert. But yes, yeah. The contract expiring, there's probably a good number of teams interested in him on a free. He will have his contract expire the end of the season. That's unfortunate.
See, another original 17
Yep.
go away. So
Indeed, and I can't imagine Braguzan probably will be long for this squad either. That pretty much does it, I think, for original 17s. But not an original 17. Thiago Almada, AC Milan has been linked to Thiago Almada, and yeah, it's a team that they probably could use him. Now, Serie A, I don't know if ultimately is the right place for Almada. We shall see, but it is a league that I mean could do well with a player like him, and especially you have some really good link-up players in Olivier Giroud. You have a very, very talented player in Rafael Leao. I mean, it's a good side to join, and
they did well last year too.
They did. So,
Is Zlatan still on that team?
Zlatan is retiring. So, unfortunately,
right, but he was this last season, right on there.
He was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely they will need some more production. So, Thiago Almada, if he does, it will be interesting. But The Athletic has reported that the team likely will try to keep him through the summer, and if they move him, it will be in the winter. So they will be trying to keep him and basically trying to win some trophies with him. And probably, if we do win some trophies, really, trophy, we're probably far away from the Supporter Shield, but MLS Cup.
Up to 3 trophies.
Yes, Leagues Cup as well is an opportunity. We will find out how far we go. But that obviously would up his fee just a little bit, but we'll find out exactly how much that will be. But yes, so that pretty much does it for the news. And this episode, we are doing a mid-season review of the Atlanta United season so far in 2023. And the 2023 season, right now, currently, we are in 5th in the Eastern Conference with 18 matches played, just a little bit more than most of the teams ahead of us, unfortunately. But 7 wins, 7 draws, 4 losses, 35 goals for, 29 goals against, with a goal difference of 6. With 28 points, just above Columbus Crew and just under New England. But in terms of the other stats for Atlanta United, looking at attacking numbers in terms of the players leading the league. So Yorgos Yakimakis, of course, with 10 goals. He is up there. And while I wait for my screen to load, here we go. Very agonizingly slow. Here we go. Okay, so he is tied for first, four-way tie with Hani Mukhtar, Denis Bouanga, and Jesus Ferreira at 10 goals. And yeah, I mean,
Love to see it.
Love to see that. Thiago Almada, he's got 7 goals and 9 assists. He's definitely up there in the conversation for the MLS MVP with Hani Mukhtar, who's got 10 goals and 7 assists. Probably leading the race so far, I would say, as you know, those numbers are very good. But
Hani Mukhtar is so good.
yeah, he's a cheat code at the moment, and yeah, you know, they're second in the league with that type of production. So you know, it's a kind of a, you know, it makes sense why they're so ahead. But in terms of LA United, in terms of, I guess, also, you know, the midseason grade per se, what grade would you give, Michael, for LA United so far, 17, 18 games in?
A grade, I would say a B, I guess. I'd say a B, because, like, I mean, the scoring is exceptional. It's like the best in the league. We have no problem with that. And I've been enjoying watching us score goals, kind of like at will. It's, in some cases, it's been great. A lot of teams starting to be a little afraid of us when it comes to our attacking prowess, and that's wonderful. We seem lethal. We seem dangerous again, which is good. However, obviously, I can't give us an A, or definitely not an A+, because the amount we concede is just way too much. I mean, it's almost on par with how much we score, which is just almost making that a wash. However, I think one of the hardest things to do in MLS and any soccer league is to score goals. And we're doing that, so we have the hardest part done. I think shoring up the defense and fixing the leaky back line is something we can do, and it's a little easier of a fix than trying to find how to score goals. So that's why I have it slightly more weighted towards like a passing decent grade versus, like, you know, something. If we had like middle of the pack amount of goals scored and we had this many conceded, then I'd be like, we're in the C minus D territory. So yeah, I mean, it's keeping us afloat, and that's why we have a decent grade right now. That grade can be bumped up if we start showing up the back line, and I'm really hoping we're able to do that.
Yeah. So for me, I would give it a B minus probably, and I'm docking more points for that defense, for the number of goals that we've given up, because we have given up the maybe not the most, but second most in the East. Charlotte, unfortunately, has that moniker right now with 33. We probably, yeah, it would have been probably a pretty close, if not for the last match where we actually kept them at bay. But yeah, I mean, and plus, yes, in terms of goals, we are tied at first with Columbus Crew. But I think it's also this: we have one of the most expensive rosters in the league, and with that only being fifth, 2 spots away from you know, a guaranteed playoff spot, I'm not sure that is what we were aiming for going into the season. So we are in a way underperforming, but we're still in a decent spot. It's a long season for MLS. So
salvageable.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a very forgiving league. So in that respect, we are okay. We're doing pretty decently. Yeah, we've hovered in those like 3, 4, 5 spots. So we're doing just enough to, I wouldn't say mediocre, but we're in that territory of like maybe just average. So, you know, it is what it is. We're doing, you know, in terms of this this mid-season grade, I think, you know, we have room for improvement. We have you know, as well, some things we're doing pretty decently well that are impressive, and I think that's, at the end of the day, you know, you gotta like, I guess, continue to improve, show more trust for the fans to be able to, I think, fully believe in this squad. Because,
Yeah.
there's some other teams, FC Cincy, St. Louis City, Seattle Sounders, LAFC, who are just, I think
they're clear front runner type teams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're inspiring a lot more confidence, I would say, than than we are at the moment. But can we get there? I think we can. We have a lot of moves to make in the transfer window coming up. So, and that opens up very soon. So, if not tomorrow, I think. Yeah. But either way, indeed. But we also polled you guys on Twitter and as well the the Discord that we have. So yeah, if you have not joined, join our Discord. There's lots of brilliant discussion there, led by Michael, and yes, there's lots of fun stuff coming up in there soon. So definitely get in there.
If you're in there, you're going to be able to hear about giveaways and other things before other people. So trust me, you're going to want to be in there.
Indeed. So we have that link in our description on our YouTube and other places as well. So definitely hop in there and check it out. But Michael, we've got some questions from the audience. Ask away.
All right. Number 1, does Miles coast if he signs a pre-contract elsewhere? What do you think?
I don't know if he's that type of player to coast, but I would definitely worry about that. It depends on when and where he signs that pre-contract. If it's this window and it's like very soon, like if it's like the next week, and he's still away at the U.S. men's national team. See, yeah, I think it's a little bit later. I think it's probably near the end of the window that doesn't actually happen, because I don't know if he's like a Bundesliga team or Premier League team's first choice. He probably, if he goes to a team, he's probably third or fourth choice on the depth chart, unless it's a kind of relegation fodder type of team. Because I don't know if he's that level, that starting Premier League level center back. Maybe a Bundesliga team.
Yeah, that
possible.
Sounds right to me.
So it depends, and it depends on how good that team is. Like, I think if he gets his head turned, it's possible, but I would hope he doesn't. But what do you think?
I don't think he will. I don't think his personality just doesn't seem that way. So, it doesn't seem like that's the kind of personality he has. So that's the way I'll say it.
Yeah, fair enough. Next question.
So are we going to go into the market to find reinforcements, or are we going to look to our bench and youth for guys to step up for the remainder of the season?
I think it's probably going to be a combination of both. I would say, the ability of Tyler Wolff to make an impact has been a big boon for us on the wings. So that's been very fantastic. Let's see, in terms of replacements, I mean, you definitely have to replace the DP spot, whether we do it with a winger or a midfielder. That will remain to be seen.
Gotta be a midfielder.
Yeah.
Gotta be a midfielder.
Yeah, exactly. And, I think we've all been, especially us two, have been vying for a midfielder that has more dynamic than what we've seen from our current crop. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say, yeah, in terms of maybe a backup striker, Jackson Conway, he was brought back from his loan with Phoenix, and I think he's not really long for this team, unfortunately.
No, he did not have a good stint there, unfortunately.
He pretty much wasn't playing, and at that point, I mean, he's just playing for the twos at this point, too. Miguel Berry obviously has left a lot to be desired. He did score that really brilliant worldie, but yeah, I think if you can do better than Miguel Berry, you should. And then, at that point as well, like in terms of replacements or depth, I mean, who Like, what other positions do you think that we might need to either bring somebody else or, rely on bench or youth?
Yeah, replace the DPs like you said, and I wouldn't want that replacement to be on the wing. I'd want it to be probably in like an 8 position, so in the style of like Darlington Abbey or something. And I think that would go a long way to shore up the defense as well as link up the offense more regularly, more consistently. So that's what I'm hoping for when it comes to that. And I would hope that it's also a DP player as well. The wing player can be fine if they're a high TAM, max TAM, or something like that. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah.
And I think we're already utilizing who we have, except for perhaps maybe just one with Firmino. I think we could give a shout and look at. But besides that, I think we're already doing a good job with Johnny Fortune and Tyler Wolff, and I don't know if Aiden McFadden got a call up too, but yeah. So I think we're already doing a decent job pulling into our bench and our academy.
And as well, into our academy or into the twos. Tamimi has been scoring in bunches for the twos as well. So, I mean, could be somebody that gets a look. But, I think we should go into the market if we can. Next question.
Does Yorgos Yakamagas have a good shot at the Golden Boot?
I think he absolutely does. As long as he can stay healthy. That's the main caveat there. And as long as well, any sort of international windows keep him from, maybe not missing any of the games. But, and also the caveat, if he can keep the yellow card accumulation at bay. So, I think he's got a great shot.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's quite clear and quite obvious. It's great. I mean, like when he was interviewed, he was saying like, "Of course I am. Every year I'm going to be running for it." I mean, he ran for it in the Dutch Eredivisie, he ran for it when he was at Celtic, and now he's running for it here. So you gotta love the appetite, and you gotta love the doggedness of him. And like I said earlier, that's like a swag, that's a confidence that we were lacking a bit since post Joseph. I mean, really, since post Joseph, like really had the dog in him, right? So, it's huge boon to have someone like that leading the tip of the spear of the team. So I absolutely think if you're a striker, why would you not be in the running for Golden Boot if you want to be like a successful striker in the league? And so that's what Yorgos' target is, and I'm fully supporting that.
Indeed. Did all that. Okay. Well, next question.
Where are we finishing in the standings this year?
You know what? Actually, I didn't even answer that question, did I? No, I did. I think he has a good shout. Yep. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Where are we finishing in the standings? Let's see. Currently 5th. You have some teams around us in New England, Columbus, Orlando City. That's, Orlando City, they're at 26 points. DC United at 23 points. New England at 30. I don't know if we're catching Cincinnati. Nashville. Well, okay, it says FC Cincy, if they come back to the pack, I think Nashville will have probably the best shout. Philadelphia next. For us, man, just where we finish, 5th is probably a very probable spot. But I'm going to be a little optimistic and say that we finish above New England. And say if everything else stays the same, if Columbus don't come surging, 4th.
I got us at between 6 and 7 is mine. 6.5.
Okay.
So I would probably say 7. Because the balance of games that we have remaining this season are significantly more difficult than what we've already played against. So I think we're gonna have a little bit of rough waters going forward. I think we'll still do all right, but I think we'll, on the balance of the average of points that we get, I think it'll be a little lower than the clip that we were going at.
And that's fair. Yeah, I mean our fixtures and the level of difficulty is going up. So it's possible. I think it is down to recruitment as well in the transfer window. So hopefully we can, I guess, quell some of those fears slash really shore up those deficiencies that we all are aware of, and hopefully the front office can do something about it. But yeah, next question.
Will Almada be MVP this year?
Ooh, yeah. I mean, obviously we kind of touched on that earlier. Hani Mukhtar is probably the front runner. He is leading that pack. If he slows down or gets injured, probably, then Thiago Almada probably has the next best shout. As 7 and 9, I would say is pretty damn good to make him probably second in that conversation. Now it just depends on, if he's going to be docked points for having, Yorgos Yakimakis as well. If he gets into the Golden Boot conversation, will that make Hani Mukhtar, if he does stay healthy, probably more of the guy, like the person that makes Nashville tick, and versus LA United, who have, a couple of players that are really, doing that job. So I think his shout right now is to probably finish second. Oh, you?
Yeah, I would say statistically, he's probably not. He's not going to make it. But the optimist in me says, like, yeah, why not? He has just as much of a good shot as kind of any of these other top players in the league. So put him in the ring and see what happens. But since there's so many of them, the statistical likelihood of him beating all of those other players out is not super high. So I would say it most likely won't happen, but I think he'll give them a good run for their money regardless.
Mm-hmm. And it'll be very interesting to see if and when Lionel Messi comes into the league, if that sways some of that fervor. And
it will.
So it might. And even if it's half a season, I mean, 17, whatever, like 15, 17 games, he could really do some damage. So it's possible.
Last question. Will spending on a DP in the A position shore up the team's midfield problems?
Will it shore up the team's midfield problems? I would hope so. I think that's the position we are most deficient at. Because, yes, if you look up and down the roster, I mean, it's like, on paper, we should not be allowing so many goals. We should be able to score from the run of play a lot better than we have. And I think that comes down a little bit to that connectivity between the lines. And a good bit of that is, of course, the A position, in which we're just not very dynamic. Our current players in the 8 position are, lacking in some areas. They're not players that you would say boss the game defensively or, in attack. It's I can't even remember the last time one of our midfielders, scored. Really, like Hosetu, Sadic. I'm pressing. I'm having to think hard. And
Hosetu had like a weird goal at one point.
Yeah, but that was
blasted off a deflection.
Right, exactly, and that was early on in the season. But it's just like, it's not a common occurrence. It's not like they're not getting assists on a regular basis either. Not that you're needing, these like players to be like Darlington Nagbe was not a player that scored a bunch of goals or got a lot of assists, but he was a player that was clean in his defensive actions. He was able to keep things ticking, to get the ball to the right players, so that those players in attack, they could be as dangerous as they can be in the final third and not having to come all the way back to pretty much help with the build-up. So
Darlington Abbey is probably the industry standard for that position. So
yeah. So yeah, no, I think it definitely would help us shore up a lot of those problems. What do you think?
Oh yeah, kind of like piggybacking on what we talked about earlier. Like if we get a DP in that spot, someone along the lines of Darlington Abbey, that will transform this team. That's where we have the breakdown, right? It's from defense to defensive midfield to attacking midfield to striker. The biggest breakdown we have is between defense to defensive midfield to attacking midfield. Like that defensive midfield just is like vacant. It's just conceded. It acquiesces. It folds like a lawn chair all day. And the other team, that's where they get their interceptions. That's where they get their tackles, and that's where they hurt us on quick counter presses. So, if that gets shored up, I mean, that is so many goals being lopped off the score sheet for the other team. So,
yeah. Those are all the questions, right?
Yep, that's it.
All right.
We did it.
Yeah, indeed. So, thank you all for the questions on Twitter and on Discord. Really appreciate that. And that was the mid-season review. That pretty much does it for the entire episode, except for the question of the day. And I'm coming up with this on the spot. I did not have one prepared. And the one question that I have for you guys is, which player outside of the DP spots will be our most important player by the end of the season?
Ooh.
All right, so let us know in the comments below. Really curious who you think. I mean, will it be?
Came up with that one off the top of your dome.
I did, man. I didn't even know what was coming out of my mouth before I even said it, actually. So enjoy, guys. I am looking forward to what you have to say in those comments below. But yes, that is the episode there, guys. And for Michael, who's been on our the first time on a pre-recorded one, so everyone give him an applause silently, I suppose, or in the in the comments below. Let him know.
Now.
Exactly. Come on down. Anyway, let him know how he did in the comments below. He did fantastic.
Be brutally honest.
Yeah, and also, I mean, he's doing this at nearly midnight. This was a late one. We had a very long day, but we do this for you guys, so show us some love. Smash that like button. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And for Michael, I'm AJ. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.